Well, good morning and welcome to another broadcast here on YouTube for 30 Days Wild. Little project run by the wildlife trusts here in the United Kingdom, where people are encouraged every day in June to get out and do something to engage with the natural world around them. And what we're going to do this morning is we're going to have a look through a moth trap I've had running here in my garden, see what species we've attracted, record them, gather the data so it can be submitted to the National Moth Recording Scheme. So it's just after sunrise, early morning, getting quite light now, and we're going to go through and see what we've got in the trap. So let me just turn the camera around. And you can see the moth trap here, bright light on a box that attracts the moths in. They drop in, they sit in the box or around it, and we see what there is and what's come overnight. So I'm going to just turn the light out now. There we go. And just check on the outside first. This is a garden carpet, a nice common species to start with, but it's in the garden, hence the name. Well, hence the name. That's a good name for it. So and as I go, I will be making notes of what I've seen. So I will be coming back to a notepad, so I can keep track of the records. Because one of the things that we do with this is not just doing this for the interest of seeing stuff or the fun of seeing stuff, but gathering records of what we have seen for the National Moth Recording Scheme, and for sharing that data with other people who are interested and with scientists who make use of the data to understand our moth populations here in the UK. So we're going to have a quick look into this trap here. We've got a cypress carpet, rather a nice species. Again, I think one that's been expanding quite a lot in recent years in its population. We've also got next to it a smaller moth, one of the Tortrix moths. I don't immediately recognise which species that is. This little one is, so I will hang on to that, so I can have a look at it a bit later on. Assuming it behaves itself and goes into the pot. So I'll pot that one up and have a look at it a bit later on, try and work out what it is properly later. And then we'll go through the trap and see what moths are in there. So this one on the side here with that silvery Y-shaped letter on the side is a silver Y moth, a migrant species. This can occur in quite large numbers and migrates to the UK. Can then breed here locally during the summer months, but doesn't really survive in the winter in Britain. So this one is one of two species. It's either a marbled miner or a tawny marbled miner. They're only really distinguishable by examining the genitalia of a dissected specimen. Surveyed this site frequently enough to know that both are here, so I'm not going to bother retaining that one this year. So all I will do with that one is record that it's one of the two, rather than keep it and try and work out which one specifically it is. There's another silver Y and another couple of garden carpet on there. Another marbled miner type. This is a light brown apple moth. This little one is a garden grass veneer. So we just write some of these down. What else did I see there? Yes. This here is a common marbled carpet. There is a similar species called the dark marbled carpet, but this form with the brown patch is distinctively common marbled carpet. And hidden in here is a light brocade. Not the easiest thing to see in this light. And on here at the end, Tachystola aquasantha. So I'll just quickly write those down. And we'll go and have a look at the next egg box. There's another Tachystola aquasantha. And excuse me, and a mottled beauty. And this one is known as a flame shoulder. Just going through these fairly quickly, not particularly discussing them today. And another light brocade. So again, I'll write those down. Okay. Flame shoulder. So we'll continue to zip through these traps, see what else is here. Nothing in that one, nothing in that bit of the egg box. We've got another silver Y moth in here. There's a Vines rustic. Angle shades, very common species, but rather an attractive one. And another heart and dart. So let me just write those down. What did I say? What on the other side? Oh, yes, another silver Y, wasn't it? Let's go through the other side of the trap, see what else there is. So the egg boxes just provide a convenient place for the moths to sit down on. Makes it easier to examine them. There's another nice light brocade, a bit more open and out to see here. And 1, 2, and a couple of heart and dart down in the bottom of the egg boxes. So let me just write those down again. The garden carpet. See, there's a bit of variation in this moth. So the first thing we looked at here was a garden carpet, as is this one. There's some variation. But we'll put those down. And then we'll continue on to shop. Another heart and dart. And a couple of silver Y here. So couple more heart and dart down here. They're a fairly distinctive species with this sort of black brow across the front of the top of the body. Makes it easy to identify even a quick glance down in there. And then I have a quick extra glance in here. A couple more angle shades I can see. Another garden carpet, another heart and dart. And a white ermine down the bottom here. Let me take this off and see if we can have a look at that. White ermine moth, rather attractive. And just sitting outside the trap here, we've got a moth called the Spectacle. Don't know how easy it would be to show you why it's called the Spectacle. But maybe you can see there that on the front of the head it looks like it's got a pair of glasses on it. However, this is a spectacle. That's a common enough species. We'll have a quick look on the other side of the trap and then we'll call it a day. I can't see anything on this side. Oh, that one. And sitting wrapped around the wire here on the electrics in the moth trap is something called a beautiful hook tip. It's got that hooky tip to the wing. Rather a nice species. So that was a quick run through a moth trap in the morning, gathering the data, gathering what we've seen, and collecting that data to submit to the National Recording Scheme. I'm going to jump off here and I'm going to break down the trap, go through, make sure I've not missed anything as I'm taking it apart, and then later today, probably this evening, I'll get that data into a database and ready to go off. So we're going to end there. We'll end focused on this nice beautiful hook tip. and I'll work through this trap and make sure I've got all the records recorded.